This is Arts Alive. I'm Lynda Philippi. My guest today is Jeanne Cuddeford, and Jeanne is a very talented artist and also here to discuss this fall's Art Harvest Studio Tour, which is 24th year, is that correct?
24th year, yes.
Yeah, well, welcome. I'm glad you could come today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, where do you want to start with talking about the Art Harvest Studio Tour?
Well, I think the tour is really important, not just for the artists, but for the people who come and see it and the kids. Art Harvest is really big on education, and especially for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
We have had the kids come. This year it is September 30th, the 1st and 2nd, and then the following weekend, the 7th, 8th, and 9th of October.
Okay.
And between those 2 weeks, we have kids come to our studios. They bus them up, and we pay for the buses. And most of us have smaller studios, but you get 12 to 15 kids in there, and they are so good and so attentive. They just love coming and watching and seeing what an artist does. And we've got such a variety of different types of artists in the studio tour also, which makes it very interesting. Last year we started having classes at the Cultural Center, Chehalem Cultural Center in Newburgh. And the kids really love that because that's a hands-on type
Oh, sure, yeah.
thing. And the artists just go down and teach. And it's really a fun thing for them.
And this is your 18th year participating.
It is.
So you've probably felt like you've really grown a lot as an artist as well over that.
Oh,
those
yes.
18 years.
Because we learn so much from each other.
Sure.
And everybody's so very encouraging.
I think the big question, some people have asked me before, and you always wonder, do you get a chance to see each other's work?
No.
Okay.
Very little, unless you're close by and you're running back and forth with catalogs and things.
But it's kind of difficult, isn't it?
It is, because we're all getting ready beforehand, and then afterwards we're exhausted and picking up and getting things back to normal.
I think maybe a lot of people don't really realize also how the studio tour works, that it really is driven and produced by the artists themselves.
Yes, it is.
100%. You create the catalogs and submit the work and write the blurbs and distribute the buttons and all of it.
Yes. And
Yeah.
then there's fundraising to pay for that catalog.
Of course. That's a big component.
It is.
And there's a new coordinator this year.
Yes.
Cassie Sollers.
Right.
Retiring as the Downtown Association manager of McMinnville and going to take this position. I think that's wonderful.
Yes, she will be a big, important person.
I'm sure it's going to be very well organized.
It will be.
And so have you started working on pieces for that already? Does it really take you a year?
Yes, because the artists' applications are going out already. And we have to have at least five pieces ready by the middle of March.
5 new pieces ready
Five new pieces
ready
that
to
is
jury.
going to be, yes, our body of work for the new. Yes.
Wow.
So we got to be on top of it to get our paintings done with the slides taken or the photographs taken and have them ready to go online.
And the last couple of years, I know that there's been a show at the Cultural Center with all work from all the artists represent.
Yes, and it's a great place to go to see who you want to go see.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah, for sure. And here's one of yours.
And there's one of mine.
Popped up on the screen already. You want to talk about that a little bit?
That's my backyard.
Oh, okay.
And I love painting my backyard. We live up on Chehalem Mountain, and it's just absolutely gorgeous up there.
It is. Okay.
That's the little creek down below, but I cleaned it out. Not literally, but
In the picture.
In the painting I did.
Okay.
Yes.
Did a little artistic license.
There you go.
I love that.
There's no berry vines in that picture.
Okay, right.
That was done, I do a lot of plein air painting, which is painting outside, and that was one done at a friend's house.
Beautiful.
And we've always thought that's next door to her house, and we always think she ought to have that made into a studio.
That yellow is just charming, isn't it? Yeah.
That's Cedar Mills Falls, which is right in the middle of the city practically. We went there for a paint out, and that was really fun to do a water scene like that in the middle of the...
Now, is this part of a class or just with
just
artist friends?
A group of artist friends, yeah.
Oh, how fun.
We're called the WAGs, the West Side Artists Guild.
How often do you get out?
Well, we try to get out twice a month, at least.
Even in the winter?
Well, we didn't do December because it was the holidays.
Right.
And then January got a little cold, so we didn't do that. We used to, but It seems like we have more reasons not to, but we try to make up for it, like the weather now. They painted out. Had to paint out on Saturday, and then some of them went out on Monday, and they're going out tomorrow.
Sure,
so,
why not?
Yeah,
You know,
the weather's fantastic.
I mean, really, there's always like San Diego or Maui, you know, really nice places to paint out in the winter.
That's true. But you've got to do really well at Art Harvest Studio Tours to do that.
For sure, that's right.
Yeah.
And have you feel like your work has just changed over the years? Are you still doing the same types of subjects that you've always done? Or
I probably do pretty much the same types, but my style's changed a little bit. It's a little looser, but it depends on whether I'm doing plein air or studio work also.
And do you ever paint from photographs?
Rarely. I might have 3 or 4 for a reference thing, but it's not going to look like that photograph. Because I remember more of what it was, where I was, rather than the photograph.
Okay,
it's just
so
kind of a remembrance
the picture in
thing.
your mind, it kind of comes through.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow. And what did you do before you started painting? Or have you just been painting all your life?
No, I had no art background at all.
Really? You're self-taught?
I guess that's the word for it.
Okay.
My husband and I had a fight, and he said, go out and get a class, and I didn't know what to take, and he said, why don't you take an art class?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That was it?
It was something I always wanted to do, but I was told I couldn't. I wasn't good enough.
Oh, okay.
But I went and took one art class, and I was hooked.
That's really amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. But I just played with it, and it was just kind of a hobby until the kids got out of college. And then I started putting a lot more time and effort into it.
Wow, that's really amazing. And so to take that with Art Harvest now, do you show your work alone or do you show with another artist?
No, I show them alone.
Alone?
Yeah.
Nice. Because you need all the room for yourself.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And up there on the hill, I've got the view of Mount Hood, one of my favorite things to paint up there. And people love seeing the things that I see up there and then noticing it in my work hanging on the walls. So that's kind of fun.
I think it's true. Sometimes, you know, you go to one of the artists, the studios, and you just kind of absorb the scenery, and you think, you could sit here all day just looking out the window, just being in a chair.
Right.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It seems like that would be a real inspiration.
It is. And there was a couple years that I didn't do it. I was traveling before and didn't want to have to come back and run into it fast, so I just took that year off, and I went to the other studios.
Okay.
And it was really interesting. The thing I liked about it the most was, oh, that's why she does what she does, because it's right there.
Okay, yeah.
And it was really interesting to find that out. Yeah.
How just your location can really sort of inform your choice of subject
Yes,
matter, and
definitely.
it helps you decide what
Yeah.
you want
And
to paint.
Yamaha County is such a beautiful place
Oh my
to live
gosh, I
anyway.
know. Really, it's true.
It is.
You could do just about anything, whether it's vineyards or the ocean.
Yeah.
Drive over to the coast and
Yeah. Or the mountains.
yeah.
I've been kind of stuck on Mount Hood this year.
Have you?
Oh, the light on the mountain has just been so
I know,
fantastic.
and it's so snowy. I love it when it's, you know, when it gets that real sort of golden pink color.
The Alpenglow.
Yeah, is that what it's called? The Alpenglow?
Yeah.
I love
and
that.
it's just, it's for such a short time
I
at the
know.
end of the day, right before sunset.
And you drive
Yeah,
along
it's
and think, why don't I have a camera? Why don't I get stuck in traffic now so I can stick my camera up in it? So pretty.
Oh, very.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful.
Is snow hard to paint?
No,
Not really?
no.
I mean, it's just like you think, oh, well, snow is white, like a little kid would paint it
Yeah,
white, but there's,
but you have to know what color white.
right, and there's lots of different colors that go into making the shadows and all of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite thing to paint?
Oh, that's hard.
I love that yellow house.
Oh, thank you.
That really charming little scene.
I do like to do, I do house portraits. And that, I've done a lot of commissions that way where they say, will you paint my house with my flowers? And yeah, that's
Like,
that's
yeah,
a real fun thing
do you want
to
it
do.
pink or purple?
Yeah.
What color do you want your garden to be? That's sort of fun, isn't it?
Yeah. And my husband has a wonderful garden.
Oh, so he put that one back up for us to look at.
Yeah.
That is so pretty.
Thank you.
It's just.
That was a rainy paint out day.
Was it?
Yeah, we were standing on our porch. It's wonderful.
Okay. Well, Jeannie, thank you very much for being here today. I really appreciate you coming and talking to us about Art Harvest Studio Tour. Is there anything else you'd like to mention?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Do I have notes about it? I just want to see a lot of people there. It's great to have them come because generally there's a lot of them that don't go to museums or galleries. So this is their first time for really seeing original art. And you need to see a lot of it in order to know what you really like. Something you're going to buy and treasure for the rest of your life.
You know, it's true, and I think the other thing that's nice about the Art Harvest Studio Tour is, you know, it's in just a very casual, informal setting.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, it's art. It's you know,
Yeah.
with a capital A. It's just art. It's just art and artists in their own homes or studios, and it's a very pleasant, pleasurable way to get to know some of the artists and kind of see what they do.
Yeah.
And develop maybe your own sense of style as well.
Right.
So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Perfect. You were great.
Did I say enough about
You did.
kids?
No, wait.